Hey guys, welcome back to another Casual Friday. Now this is my very first video of my brand new camera. For those of you who've never watched my videos before and don't follow me on any kind of social media, I recently bought my Canon 80D, which I unboxed in a previous video, so if you want to see that, please don't forget to check it out. It's one of the best cameras for YouTubers, so if you're thinking of making a big purchase for your YouTube channel, definitely recommend checking out my last video. But anyway, I'm just going to get on to the point what this video is actually about. So today's video is going to be a book review. Now I'm not a booktuber, I'm not going to say I am a booktuber, but I recently received Turtles All the Way Down by John Green a few weeks ago now actually, and I finished reading it but never actually got round to actually reviewing it and telling you guys about it. I actually received this book for free. I did do a video explaining what happened and also unboxing for free book, so if you want to check that out, I'll put it up in the cards up above. So this video is going to contain absolutely no spoilers, I promise. It's literally just going to be a review on the book, how I personally felt about it. Let's begin. So most of you who know who John Green is, and you're probably a big fan of John Green, probably weren't watching this video in the first place, but this is actually his first book in 6 years. The main part of the story and the whole scenario behind the story is basically that a fugitive, a billionaire, goes missing and there's $100,000 reward at stake for the person who finds him or finds out happened to him. This bit's in the blurbs, not spoiling anything for you guys. Another massive thing is Asa, who's the main character. She's 16 years old. She suffers from OCD and anxiety. Now I cannot relate to OCD personally, so I've never suffered from OCD, but I can relate to the anxiety part of her. And what I absolutely love about this book is obviously John Green kind of came out publicly about how he has anxiety and quite severe OCD. So he can really go into detail about how he feels and the kind of thoughts Asa has in her head and how people respond to the kinds of things she says and the kinds of things she does. And it's really, really relatable. If you have OCD or anxiety, you probably can relate to her character pretty well. And also she's got a best friend called Daisy who doesn't understand her mental illness. She often feels like a burden to her, which obviously when you have a mental health problem, you feel like a burden to your own friends. So she's so relatable as a character, Asa. I don't know if I'm even pronouncing that right, but she's really relatable as a character. She's absolutely brilliant. Another thing I absolutely love about the whole mental health aspect is that because John Green goes into so much detail about Asa's thoughts and feelings and how she deals with certain situations, but it gives you amazing advice. Because for example, if Asa's talking to someone about how she's feeling, whether it's her mum or her best friend or someone else, so it's always going to be something else put in a book where it's going to be like advice to Asa for how to deal with her intrusive thoughts, how to deal with her OCD. And it's really, really lovely to read, because if you're having a particularly bad day, it's really lovely to be able to just read that and then think, oh, maybe I should start doing that in my own life. Like normally you end up forgetting. When I have a really anxious moment, I completely forget what the advice was given in the book. And I think it's so lovely of John Green to go into such detail about it. People just don't understand sometimes. You don't understand what's going through your head, and it's really, really nice that John Green has gone into so much detail about Asa's thoughts and feelings in the book. I think move on to something a little bit more negative. There's normally something very, very, very shocking that happens in his book. I remember once I was on a bus home from somewhere and I was reading Looking for Alaska. That's such a great book. I love Looking for Alaska. I'd actually love to play Alaska in a film, but anyway. I was reading Looking for Alaska and there was a moment, but if you've read it before you probably know what moment I'm talking about, where I actually screamed "No!" on the bus. Like, it just came out because I was so shocked at that twist in the story. I just didn't experience that at all in this book. There was a romance and something happens at the end and it's been like, oh, is that it? The actual title of the book as well isn't actually mentioned till the end of the story, and it doesn't really make much sense to me why it's called that. It also took me a very long time to get into books. Normally with John Green's books, you'll start reading them and be like, oh my god, this is amazing, it's so good. I'm not faulting John Green's work. Like I just said, like this book's absolutely brilliant for people who have mental health issues, especially if you can really relate to the main character, and I really loved the thought he put into it. I was a bit disappointed at the end of the story. Like, it was kind of like a romance. I'm not just saying this because I'm single. There was nothing much more exciting than this is romance happening, and it's like, is there going to be anything else? I mean, there is like a little twist in the story, but I wouldn't say it's anything that dramatic. I wasn't as impressed with this book as I was the other. The romance was a bit boring as well. It was like, well, that's going to happen. Like, everyone knows it's going to be romance. It's John Green's book for one thing. There's always a romance in the story. Nothing amazing happened. So I was a bit like, oh, is that it? So yeah, that is it. That's the end of the video. I'm sorry it was so quick. but it's just because I hold my hands up and admit to you guys right now, I didn't have many ideas for a video this week, and I really wanted to try out my new camera. And also today I'm doing it in the evening because it's been so noisy over the day, and also I was a bit busy earlier on this morning, so I couldn't do it then. So I was taking my chance for I'd try out my lights and my new camera all together in one. And also I was planning on doing this review at some point anyway, but I thought I'd try a little bit of booktubing, but I clearly wasn't very good, so I probably won't do it again for a while. But please let me know in the comments down below if you have read this book and what you personally thought of it. I'm still a big fan of John Green, I still love his books, but it's a bit like with Paper Towns, I wasn't really as into it. But Looking for Alaska and Fault in Our Stars are absolutely incredible books, and you should really check them out if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!